Hi, before we start today's event, we would quickly like to introduce you to Mr. Avello Roy. Avello Roy is a tech entrepreneur, investor, TV host, and TEDx speaker. Avello Roy is a serial entrepreneur having built 8 businesses in the US with multi-million dollar worth of products and services, ranging from consumer electronics, artificial intelligence systems, healthcare process automation, food science, wireless communications, wearable technology, and graphical password applications. Currently, Avello Roy runs the largest incubator in East India, Kolkata Ventures. With 550 plus revenue generating startups, he has been listed as 40 most followed people in Indian startup ecosystem by Bizster. Avello's spiritual foundation plays a key role in his life choices, and he embeds the timeless teaching of Bhagavad Gita in his business decision making and mentorship that he has provided to more than 1500 young men and women in US and India. The topic for today, which most of the budding college students are interested in, is how to start a startup. So without wasting any time, we would quickly jump into the question and answer segment, which a lot of college students wanted me to ask you. So the first question is, what is the definition of a startup?
So according to Lean Startup methodology, the definition of a startup is it's a temporary organization to look for a repeatable and scalable business model. So let me simplify that. What it basically means is you have a problem that you want to solve, but you don't know what is the right solution, and you would never know until I get to the market. So you get to the market, you build, you test, you learn, you try a prototype, and you try to find a model that people are willing to pay for, a product that people are willing to pay for, the marketing that resonates with people, the whole system that works. And until it works, you keep experimenting, you keep failing, you keep trying, and then you find something that's repeatable and scalable, which means it works in Kolkata, it works in Mumbai, it works in Delhi, and it works nationally. Till you get to that point, you are always experimenting and trying to figure it out. That time is called startup. Once you've started up, then you're a business and you're scaling.
Thank you. What does success look like in this role, and how will it be measured?
So at different stages, there are different measures of success. So as student entrepreneurs, for example, the first measure is, can you build a team together? Because your startup means nothing unless you have the right people to execute on it. And one person rarely makes it happen. Generally, you need a people of at least 2 to 3 friends who can get together. So are you a leader enough to inspire other people to come and join you and build the dream, the vision that you build? Once you have the team, the next level of success is prototype. Now the thing you want to build, can you quickly build a minimum viable product? It's not the full bells and whistles, but something that's out there that people can use it. And then comes the next level of success, the first rupee or first dollar, that the revenue that comes. So like that, every stage has a success parameter. Once you start making money, then there's month-on-month growth. Is your revenue growing every month more than the previous month? So, and there's also the other side, which is not just business but satisfaction, right? As an individual, you're building a startup because you don't want to be stuck in a 9-to-5 job. You want to be your own boss. You want financial freedom. You want, a lot of things. But are any of those little things met to a certain degree, where you feel satisfied? That's also personal success. So there are multiple ways different people look at success differently, but these are some elements that are commonly seen.
So from an investor point of view, what are the things you look at before investing in a startup?
Team. Number one thing is a team dynamic. Number two is it tech-enabled scalable? That means, can it exponentially grow using technology versus traditional businesses that grow in a linear way? And thirdly, looking at the business model and the market. Is the market big enough? Can it pay? For example, most startups that target college students don't have a lot of revenue because college students don't have money. Versus when you target senior citizens or middle-aged people, they have a lot of money. They are the crescendo of their career. So depending on that, is the market ripe enough? Can they pay enough? How rich is that market? So that is the third thing.
Where do college students go wrong? What are the common mistakes they make?
When building a startup?
Yes, while building or ideating for a startup.
Sure. One of the common mistakes is they look at startups from college academic project perspective. So for example, SWOT analysis and this analysis. There's a lot of analysis paralysis that goes on because the guides happen to be professors. Nothing against professors, but professors are great to get you started, but you need to think more realistically. The jugaad mentality of Indian entrepreneurs, that has to be there. If there is no way, I'll figure out a way to do it, right? I'll growth hack myself. So I see a lot of times college students don't do their research. It's very easy to find out competitors in the market. They'll be like, we're the only ones with this idea and we're the first to the market, and generally the investors have like 50 other names that are doing the same thing somewhere else, and that's embarrassing. So first of all, know who's doing it. Just because they're doing it doesn't mean you cannot do it. You can, but you should know where they're going wrong, what they're doing right. Get to the understanding that what can you do as a student? How can you quickly go from zero to revenue, right? 30 days. I give myself 30 days. Zero to revenue. How can you do it? Reduce it. So take that massive idea, I want to build a Tesla, to I want to build a toy car, right? Let me build that toy car so well that people are willing to buy it. And then slowly let me figure it out how to grow it. People want to go from point A to point Z in one go. And that's something that students don't understand. There's a phase-by-phase process. Even with investment, if you go to an investor as a student entrepreneur and say, hey, you know what, give me 50 crores, good luck. Right? Or even 5 crores, good luck. Right? Ritesh, I'll tell you, so Oyo CEO, Ritesh Agarwal, so he told me one time, he said, the first investors he went to, he said, hey, you know what, give me 30 lakhs and give me a month and just see what I can do, in Gurgaon. So in 30 lakhs, within a month, he got so many hotels under the Oyo brand. And with that goodwill, now he was able to raise crores because now they know he has the ability to do something. So as a college student, know for a fact, people will discount you. You need to prove your ability, either through internships or through prototyping or through building something, selling something. Do something to prove your credential. You don't have to be IIT and you don't have to be IIM grad, but you need to showcase to the investor and to the team members you're bringing on board that you can do something. So do something rather than talking and experimenting and analysis paralysis. So from books, get to actually like the streets. That's important and fast. Not like wait after graduation I'll do it. No, do it now.
That is true, because even like a personal experience, you think of something and you just keep thinking, but then someone has already done it.
It's not an academic exercise. You have to be street smart.
So while ideating for a startup, the students like go through a lot of hurdles, like low self-esteem, low confidence, and or problems from their parents. So how do they deal with these kind of hurdles? How did you deal with it, and would you like to suggest something?
Yeah, sure. You won't believe me, but I'm an introvert. And it was very difficult for me to do anything to deal with people because I'm that level of introvert. But then what worked for me was comparing. If I don't do anything and live average life versus if I go out of my comfort zone and do the painful things that maybe are embarrassing, what could be the outcome? And I saw that dream, the vision, the freedom, the possibility that it would open up for me. I'm like, man, it's worth it, right? And I'll tell you another place I didn't do this. So Shark Tank, you might be knowing the popular show. So we got into Shark Tank in the US, first season. And we didn't know what Shark Tank would be. So the only connection was Dragon's Den, which was in the UK, where they really misbehaved with the entrepreneurs and kind of tried to embarrass you and all that. So my advisors told me, Avello, they're going to embarrass you on national television, on ABC, prime time. This is going to be really bad for you. Don't do it. And I regret till date for not doing it. We rejected the offer from Shark Tank. And now looking back, if I was embarrassed, if they had said terrible things to me, still I know hundreds of millions of people who are watching it, somebody would have been like, hey, you know what, we can help you. Who knows what opportunity would have presented itself, but I missed out on that. So, so one aspect I didn't, I built my startup, but on another aspect I was embarrassed, scared of embarrassment, scared of rejection, didn't go to Shark Tank. So both tell me that when I took the more difficult road, the road of embarrassment and rejection, it was what gave me fulfillment versus the other road was disappointment.
So how did you get this positive attitude?
By comparing what is possible if I go through the difficult road, and what is going to be my life if I don't go through the difficult road. And comparing the two, I saw the possibility of the difficult road being far more compared to the difficulty of taking up the difficult path.
And do you feel the startup culture has evolved as a whole and there are more opportunities for students now compared to earlier?
Oh yes, there's no question about it. There are more examples out there, as well as there are opportunities. There are incubation, there's government support. Everywhere in the country you'll find adult incubation centers. Each adult incubation center is not only give you like 10 lakhs in grant money, but also they're paying you salary for 12 months till you start to make revenue. Government is supporting that. Most people don't even know about this, right? So there is a lot of government support. There's a lot of incubation centers like ours, Kolkata Ventures and others that are doing it. There are more investors who are investing. So a lot more opportunity, and as a result, a lot more competition also. Competition is also high, so you have to be really good to get visibility.
Okay. So also in East India, what do you think works more for students who are inclined towards starting out?
East India is a very unique culture that we have, where parents feel that their kids should go for a secure job, a government job, or job, nevertheless, not business. I don't know for what reason, but that is the mentality. And I think those kids have to work extra hard to break free from that barrier. And when I get those questions, what I tell them, I suggest them is, look, today, if you're an adult, if you have crossed the age of 18, you're an adult. Your success or failure is in your hands. 20 years from now, if you're a failure, you cannot blame your parents that they didn't let you do blah, blah, blah. That is why you're a failure. It's your failure. And 20 years from now, if you are a successful person, it is your success. So make your choice and don't look for approval, because people won't approve it. Most people are average. If you want to be extraordinary, they don't understand. They want your best. Parents, family, siblings, friends, they all want your best, and they want you to be safe and average. They cannot appreciate what you are seeing, because entrepreneurs are different. So do not look for approval from those who don't understand. You do not expect to be understood. I think that's a very important thing to understand as a person from East India. Once you get that, you're okay to be the bad son, the bad brother, the bad sister, the bad whatever. Society will shame you, because you will not be able to buy your first car, your first house when others are doing it. You're struggling, but that effort that you put in your 20s, for the rest of your life you'll be traveling business class, right? That's the difference. So understand that, understand the long-term goal, understand that you won't be appreciated, you will be laughed at, and that is the story of every entrepreneur. Just go with it.
So post-pandemic, do you think that startups have increased or decreased, the number of startups?
Oh, it's grown crazy. We have grown, several 100%, because what happened? People are working from home. They don't have to commute. They have the extra time, and they're thinking, what if I lose my job? This is no more secure. Startup seems to be more control, and that's where things are moving. Many people don't want to go back to office anymore, because they're earning multiple, salaries. Maybe they're doing multiple jobs, or they're doing a job and they're doing a startup on the side. And initially, you can do 2 hours a day on startup and 8 hours of work, and you're still good to go. So that's why we have seen a huge, especially because we're a virtual incubator. We have grown into 5 countries. Last year I was just in India. This year we're in 5 countries. So people from Canada, from US, from everywhere, we are seeing this trend, and they want to be incubated, and they want to be nurtured, and they're launching. So huge growth. That's very, very positive.
What are the 5 countries?
Canada, US, UK, Portugal, and Australia.
Thank you.
That's all from our side, everyone. We would like to thank Mr. Avello Roy for taking out time for us. It was a great session we had with Kolkata Ventures and Mr. Avello Roy. Do share this video with your friends, and don't forget to tag your friends in the comment section who would be interested in taking part in the Red Bull Basement. We will be adding a link to the Red Bull Basement in the comment section as well as the caption, so that it is easier for everyone. Thank you.